as respect to or relating to, as far as rejection goes, this was probably the most wholesome rejection. It just didn't really carry a lot of weight, but these characters, they just get along with each other so well, and it's not like they're terrible people. And in respect to their circumstances too, it was just not that hard of a rejection to even take, even as an end user. If you compare it to like Blue Box, where you have one character living with another one, but the other character, well, the third wheel is like the legit childhood friend that should be with the main MC. That circumstance and the rejection between within that anime was just harder to take. But right here in this anime called April Showers Bring May Flowers, aka A Bouquet for an Ugly Girl. It's about someone who's not. I don't think they're ugly. They're just pretty much average. You know what I'm saying? They're not a dime or nothing like that. Tabata, her attitude, and her personality, her timidness, and her ability to care about somebody is just, it makes her just a 10 out of 10. Like, let's say in look she's average, but then her attitude had all this shit, it makes her a good strong 9 or 10. Like, holy shit. When you find someone this kind, someone this generous, and someone who actually fucking genuinely cares, and she doesn't even get jealous, like, when you can see here Ueno, he has this part with Sumri here, the chick that he just rejected. They're in a play together, and within this play they're really in close proximity, and Tabata doesn't even lose sleep over it. She really doesn't. So you can see there that Tabata just fully supports her friend Ueno, fully supports her friend Sumri. Whatever is going on between them, she wants nothing part of it. She doesn't want to create any disturbance. She doesn't want to create war. She doesn't have any malice in her. She just wants to do her gardening shit. She just wants people to not be bothered by her. And so when this rejection hit between Sumri and Ueno, it was just, like I said, not that hard to take. Tabata and Ueno just make the perfect couple, especially since Ueno, he is just as great as a person as Tabata. He's very kind. He always looks out for his peers. He always looks out for everyone. If like in the anime, Sumari, she forgot her eraser, so he breaks his eraser. He goes to help. The fact that he actually likes Tabata, not just because of looks, but because of personality, just speaks a lot of volume of what kind of guy he is. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't really judge by appearance. And let's be honest, guys. We judge by appearance 100%, and we put up with a lot of bullshit from girls just because they're cute. Let's be honest. We will literally put up with a bitch only because they're cute. You know what I'm saying? They're cute, or they're a good 8 or 9 out of 10. Within looks aspect, but personality wise, they're a good strong 4. Low subpar attitude. They don't really give two shits about you. They pretty much destroy you, put you down. They're extremely jealous, ravenous, Jezebels, you name it. Or they just are using you. So as you can see here, this rejection did not come as a surprise, and I really didn't really feel bad for Sumari. You know what I'm saying? Like, Sumari knows Ueno and Tabata are just so perfect together. They really are. Oh man, that's giving me blue box nightmares. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my gosh, why? No. And just think about a girlfriend too, bro. Just think about where they're at. Why couldn't, bro? If Kazuya just fucking confessed and had balls like Sumri here, shit wouldn't be dragged out. Lies wouldn't have been said. No one would have been. They wouldn't have to like create this huge facade. But anyways, like I said, this episode, this rejection was extremely wholesome. Honestly, I didn't really feel the weight of it. It just feels like we're finally getting some progress out of this anime. This is episode 11, and there's only 2 more episodes left after this. The only thing left now is for Weno to confess to Tabata, because Tabata is no way, shape, or form gonna confess to Weno just like Sumri did. You know, Sumri, I really do feel like she panicked during the situation. She should have waited for the perfect time. But even then, you know, Weno already has his eyes set on Tabata, so I don't think that would have done much anyways. Let's see here. Yeah, it's just like more of the same here. So yeah, even if she did wait for the right moment, you know, that argument is kind of dead. Wendell's already dead set on Tabata, and Tabata doesn't even know. She doesn't, like, that's the great thing about Tabata. She's not looking for a relationship. She wasn't even looking for friends. When Wendell went to go help her in the gardens and stuff, she didn't want help. She was like, oh, I don't want to be a bother to you. I don't want you bothering with me and my little, you know, dirt worms and shit like that. I don't want you getting dirty. You know what I'm saying? Tabata, honestly, she's just floating in her own ecosystem at this point. And everybody else is just inserting themselves in her life. You can see here, Tabata is reaching out to Sumri and saying, hey, are you okay? Are you feeling well? And of course, Sumri's like, yeah, I'm feeling well, so it's okay. See right here, bro. She's just over here, just trying to chill, trying to help others when it is called for it. She doesn't go out of her way to self-insert herself into other people's lives. Bro, I'm telling you, man, look, she's right here, helping a lost child, bro. Like, holy shit, man. Like, her heart is just too pure. And, oh my god, man. Like, her looks, like I said, might be average, but her heart, her attitude, her soul is in the right place. And let's be honest, Sumri was a conniving, two-faced Jezebel. She hated the fact that Weno had his eyes on Tabata. She hated the fact that, you know, Weno wouldn't pay attention to her. She was extremely jealous of everything that happened between Tabata and Weno. She was always, you know, trying to come up with plans to thwart anything between Weno and Tabata and to put herself in a better position in order for Weno to actually have feelings for her. So yeah, guys, that's why it probably didn't feel, I didn't really feel the weight of the rejection, because I'm like, bruh, you know what you're doing, you know what you did, you don't deserve Weno, you're just a conniving, parasitic woman, a gal, yeah, she's a gal, girl, you know, she's not an adult yet, they're not adults, and that's the other thing, they're not adults. But this interaction just went real fucking good. It just did such a superb between them. You know, there was no fighting. There was no infighting. There wasn't any of that. It was just pure. They were just so mature. It really blew me out the water.